Todd Curry is the owner of Curry Agency, a Fisher's independent insurance agency. He has appeared on Fox 59, The Pete the Planner Show, has been interviewed by Bloomberg News on various insurance topics. Prior to starting his insurance career, Todd was a supply officer in the United States Navy. He served aboard the USS Gunston Hall and the Naval Air Warfare Center in Indianapolis. While on active duty, he earned numerous medals, including the Navy Commendation Medal and the Navy Achievement Medal. He also earned his Surface Warfare Supply Corps officer designation. He's a proud husband and father to his wonderful daughter. Todd is on the board of directors for the Indianapolis Children's Choir, the Kiwanis Club of Fishers. Please help me welcome Todd Curry to the Spark stage.
It's been over 25 years now, so I think I can share my secret. In October of 1992, 3 accomplices and I coordinated a carefully planned mission. We had it timed out and planned ahead of an upcoming trip to Europe. 2 of the guys had shotguns. I had a .45 on my hip, and the other guy had a .45. We walked into a bank in Virginia Beach. I slipped the teller a note, and a few minutes later, we walked out with over $700,000 in our duffel bags. No shots were fired, and I was never prosecuted. Everything I did was legal. See, I was a dispersing officer on board the USS Gunston Hall. This fine ship here, dock landing ship, carried marine hovercraft. The back opened up, and the LCACs came in. So I was the guy that was responsible for paying the sailors their paychecks, paying vendors when we were in port, and got all the cash from the bank. I kept all the cash in my office in a big safe. Now the real secret. Until now, only a few of my very closest friends have ever heard this. One night, a few months into the Mediterranean deployment that we were going to Europe for, I was cashing checks ahead of a port visit. Seas were rough and I wasn't feeling too well. My stomach was a little queasy. I kept the check cashing line open a little longer than I had planned, but I was committed to getting the sailors their cash for the next day's port visit. It got to the point where my stomach was grumbly and it started to hurt. I decided it was time to shut down and hit the head, what you civilians call the restroom. I had to go down a long passageway, through another compartment, up a ladder, and then I would get to the nearest head. It wasn't like a cruise ship where there's heads everywhere. As I started securing my safe and locking the office, my comfort level decreased significantly. I started to wonder if I was going to make it. I began down the passageway, my stomach cramps got worse, and I was in pain. My pace quickened. I was starting to sweat, both from not feeling well and the bigger fear that I wasn't going to make it in time. I got to the end of the passageway, scrambled up the ladder. I was a few steps from the head when all of a sudden, as comedian Brian Regan says, everything on my inside wanted to be on my outside. My white underwear had become my brown underwear. I got inside the head without anyone seeing, and thankfully the stall was empty. I quickly but carefully stepped in and sat down, lamenting my fate. Logical step was not quite as easy as it might seem. Ships are dangerous places. I was wearing steel-toed boots. I'll spare you the details, but let's say I minimized the collateral damage that could have occurred. Now here is where my performance under pressure came into play. I came to the realization that I needed to get rid of my underwear. I couldn't flush it and risk clogging the pipes on the ship. So you're probably thinking, well, it's simple, just throw it away. Well, I would have, but in the Navy, we stenciled all our clothes. So my waistband had big T.A. Curry stenciled on the waistband. There was no way in the world I was going to throw that away. I didn't want to become a laughingstock to the crew. And nicknames on board a ship just don't go away. Ask Four Finger Fred about that one. So I'm sitting there wondering what in the world I was going to do when I came up with what I consider a brilliant solution. I ripped the stenciled waistband off, threw the bottom dirty portion in the trash, shoved the waistband in my pocket, and traveled to a space that was far, far away, that was cleaned by a totally different department and a different person. I got to that space, put the waistband in the trash, and was never discovered. Now you know my secret.
Don't delay. Get your ticket for the next Sparks event today.